When I came to move the car the other day, discovered I've got no gears, which was handy. So when I checked the clutch master cylinder, it was devoid of fluid, which will definitely make things difficult. So it looks like the master cylinder had failed, so I've ordered a fresh one online. I did order the rebuild kit, but the old one was so knackered it wasn't going to work. So I've ordered a new one, and what I had to do, where the brake fluid had landed on the bulkhead, it had all caused a load of rust and corrosion and so on. So I've taken that back to bare metal and fitted the new master cylinder. I didn't really know that because it's kind of pretty straightforward really. What we've got to do now is fit the new pipe in, because I had to, it looked like the fittings were pretty original and I had to get it off with a mould grip, so it's pretty mullered, the fitting. So I've got a new pipe as well. They're not expensive, they come with the fittings on from Paddock, I think I got that from Paddock Spares. The mounting brackets I've also taken back to metal and repainted as well. So what we're going to do now is go and have a look at the brake pipe. I've got myself a brake pipe bender, so the clutch pipe. I've got a pipe bender which I've never used before, so we're going to go and have a bash with that. I've had a little practice on the one that came off, just to make sure that I can get it sorted. So we're going to fit that now. Here's the bulkhead, repainted, ready to receive. I've taken the wiper motor off as well because that was looking pretty scuffy, so I'm going to clean that up. Brackets refitted, new master cylinder refitted. I've got a brake master on the way as well because with bending it around, that one started leaking as well, so doing that one as well. Right, here's the old one. So I need to straighten that out a bit. You can see, and they're not terrible, the ends, but they are a little bit second hand. So straighten that one out as much as we can. Straighten out the new one as much as we can. Nice and gently. There we go. Pretty long. Let's have a look. Extra bit on the end. Yeah, they are the same length. So what I'm going to do is put a little twist into this so that it matches what came off. So that comes out of there like so. Yep. You want to twist about there. Right, I reckon this old paint can should just about be the right diameter. Put that in. So just bend him around there. Neat curve on it. There we go. Perfect. That'll do nicely. Okay, so look again. Excuse the cockerel. Right. Pop that through there. Shape of it now. So there it comes off the bend. Oh dear me, what a noisy sod. Right, so we want to angle that down just where it comes off of there. That way. Something like that, I think. rattles against the bulkhead. That would be really annoying. There we go, that's clear the bulkhead. And it comes through the firewall through to the or through the bulkhead through to the slave cylinder, which is just there. And the easiest way to get to the slave cylinder is by taking the transmission tunnel off, because the bleed valve for that is on the top, so to get to it from underneath is pretty damn difficult. Let me see if I can zoom in on the bleed valve. Up there somewhere, there. So we're going to attach this end, which goes into that port there, so it'll need a bit more bending. I'm not going to be able to video this because it's really awkward being inside the car, but we'll get that attached and then see how we're going from there. Right, that's got that in. We're going to cable tie onto those cables and tidy those cables up a little bit for the overdrive, because they're just kind of hanging at the minute. They need properly tying up. Here's the top bit. It's a little bit more wibbly wobbly than I might have liked, but it's okay. The first go, it's not too bad. Fixed on with the old P-clip there to the flywheel housing. Got a little loop in there. Loops over the pipework. Yeah, not too bad. So the servo, the master cylinder is all plumbed in. So what we're going to do now is just bleed the system through. I took off the old bleed nipple because it was the end was all bashed in, so I could get a pipe on it. I've done that. Bit of a top tip: if you put a plastic glove or a polythene bag over the lid, screw the lid on, then it creates a vacuum, and you won't get a load of fluid peeing out the bottom when you're trying to change something over in the system. Now, for this job, I will require an assistant. One minute. Right, so we're going off in search of an assistant. Is this my assistant? With friend?
I couldn't
with
just leave him behind in the kitchen.
Well, no, of course not.
But there was toast about. So
yeah, that may swing him.
Yeah.
You alright, Mr. Odie? Yes. You coming out as well, are you? Come on then. So I've got this all set up with a clear pipe attached onto the bleed nipple, which is slightly open, draining into a pot. Okay, now what you've got to do is keep this topped up with fluid.
What, me?
Yeah.
When do you tell me to stop?
I'm going to be pressing the pedal.
Tell me when to stop then.
I will.
Is this flammable?
No.
No.
Okay, so you see where it is at the moment?
Yeah.
Yeah? You need to try and keep it up to there. Okay?
Well, that's going to be difficult.
Well, if I push the pedal.
You mean it goes down?
Yeah. So you're going down, you just pour a little bit in every now and again. Okay? Right.
Once you've got yourself settled.
Oh.
What? Tell them what happened.
Slight problem, that we can't bleed it because the pedal's not connected. So, new clevis pin. There we go. So we're going to pop that in so that the pedal actually works. Right. Keep on that side.
Looks like a whistle.
Okay, now can you push it through from that side, from this side?
Right, now we've got the pedal connected, we can actually start. I'm opening the lid of the, brick thing.
Right. So if you stand about here. There's a point to note when putting in your new slave cylinder, which is that, nice and shiny and new. It doesn't come with this housing, so don't throw your old one away until you've got the new one, because you'll need to extract that housing from it. You can see the slave was pretty knackered really, so it's kind of needed doing. So now we've just got the problem. I've undone the screw that holds the housing on, but it's not released at all, so what we need to do now is try and push that out. So we're going to have a little bash at that and try and extract the slave from that housing. In order to do that, we need to remove this bolt that holds it all together. It's not sufficient just to simply loosen it off as I've done there. It needs to be completely removed. This bolt is actually a little bit too long really for that. It's obviously been replaced at some point. We'll have a look at that's the carrier cleaned up. Doesn't have to be spotless, it's going to be hidden in the transmission tunnel anyway. So slave cylinder goes in and we can see that little groove on the top there. That needs to be aligned with the nut just there. Pop him in to there. Hopefully. There we go. I've fitted a new bolt. It's a little bit oversized, but I've cut it down and then just taken the end off on the grinder just to make it a little bit friendlier, and drop the nut. Right. Now I've got my nut just to go on the end. I had the nut on when I ground it off so that it would just reconstitute the threads as I took it off. There we go. We'll tighten that up, and that's the new slave in its mounting. Now what we've got to do is refit it to the car. That's the slave cylinder in. Just got to bleed through the system now. I've just cable tied up the cables just to make things a little bit neater and stop those flapping around, and redone some of the insulation tape, so hopefully should all be good. Right, so we're all set again for trying to bleed the clutch through. New slave cylinders on.
With your
there,
assistant.
With my assistant. Pipework is on. Got a tube attached to the bleed nipple, which is loosened off. Going into that container, and we're ready to boogie.
Look, there's a piece of moss in the car.
That's nice.
Probably from that gale we had.
So,
Because we're back in wet England and it's raining.
okay.
We're back with the blue roll.
Right, so remember what your job is?
Yeah, I forgot where to pour it.
Keep this topped up.
Oh, what, that bit? That bit? That necessary bit? You're covering the camera.
Right.
Whee!
That's the master cylinder.
Whee! Whee!
Okay, so you need to keep it up to about that level there.
I got it. How about the blue roll?
Right.
What,
Blue roll
it's flying in the air?
underneath, just in case it gets fully loose. Okay, there you go.
Hang on.
Right, you ready?
It's raining quite a bit now, but I'm ready.
Okay. Leave me clutch pedal on.
Wait, come on 1 second.
Ooh.
Oh, whoops.
Careful. This bit is called the clutch master cylinder. Okay, when you press the clutch pedal, it moves this arm here, and it pushes the fluid, which is a hydraulic fluid, all the way through here, through this pipe. Okay, the slave cylinder, which is that piece under there, and then we've got a tube attached to what we call the bleed nipple there, and that pushes the fluid out into that container. And what you do is you watch that until there's no more bubbles coming through the tube, and then you know that there's no air in the system. And you don't want air in the system because air doesn't compress. Well, sorry, air does compress, and so it upsets the hydraulics, and the clutch won't work properly. So you have to get all the air out of the system. Okay?
So then you have proper brakes, and then you don't.
Well, in this case, it's proper clutch, but yeah, it's the same for the brakes as well, which we're going to do another day. So we'll just tighten that bleed nipple up, and then hopefully we should have a good clutch.
What, you're recording?
Yep. So what we're going to do now is try and start the engine. It's not been started for a long, long time, so it won't start very easily. You can use some stuff called Easy Start, which I haven't got, or you can use
This.
brake and carb cleaner. People talk about engines getting addicted to Easy Start. They don't. It's just because people haven't sorted out the problem that caused the bad start in the first place.
Dad,
Daughter,
I just realised that it's raining quite a bit.
it is raining a little bit.
I don't know if the dogs need to get out. How can I see how they're doing?
The dogs are out.
The dogs are out.
Yeah, they've gone with Grandma and Grandad. Why is there a large piece of moss in the car?
I just told you that.
Yeah. Right. Okay, so we need to give it a bit of throttle. It's a little bit tricky because there's no seat in the car. Make sure we're in neutral before we start.
You're going to be pretty uncomfortable sat there then.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's let it. You see, it won't start. So what we do is get
Oh, that smells, that stuff.
Right. Block this. Spray some of this into the airbox, which is the airbox. Find out where the camera. So we spray this into the airbox.
The smelly, horrible, flammable stuff. They don't put it near fire. Otherwise it'll start another
easy.
fire.
Right.
And then everything will go wrong.
And then we try again. There we go.
That stuff stinks.
Choke is a bit sticky.
Oh, excuse me, I just need to get something. Be back.
Okay. Oh, awesome.
Runner's blackjack is the best.
Yum, yum, yum.
You could just stuff your face with this and just sit.
Yeah. Now you don't want to leave your engine just sticking over. Properly, you need to give it a little bit of room. Not too much, but it's cold.
I